Hello, this presentation is all about Petra, and it is one of our lost images that we have not covered yet. It does belong in the ancient Mediterranean content area. It is truly, truly one of my favorite topics to talk about, but it is extremely extensive with lots of very mysterious and interesting information. And it is something I could indeed talk about forever. So, I'm not actually going to present this screencast to you. I'm going to just briefly kind of go through the slides. But what I more want to do in the screencast is actually show you a website link at the end of this presentation that I really want you to experience. I'm going to just kind of give you some tips about navigating this website. I think it will give you the best virtual experience possible for this amazing city of ruins. And to be quite honest, it's just the best way to experience it. So not only do I need you to, get the information off of this slideshow for your graphic notes, but I also just kind of want you to experience the grandeur of this beautiful ancient city. And there's just no better way to do it than a kind of self-guided virtual tour. So to get to that last slide, I'm just going to quickly go through these slides for you and kind of tell you how I've set up the information. So I first started by showing you the images that College Board wants you to know. It's image 181, and basically it's focusing on three parts of this entire city. So the treasury, the Great Temple, and the monastery. This is an entire city, though, so I need you to understand the big picture, that there are tons of sites and tons of ruins and tons of buildings and tombs, and it's over 100 miles, this entire city of Petra. So just because College Board has you kind of significantly learning about three of them does not mean that that's all there is. I've given you some general information and included kind of what the treasury building of Petra is kind of most iconically known for, and that is filming of Indiana Jones. So I've kind of given you some of that general information. Then I've gone into the contextual history of Petra. What is this place? As you read through this information, you will learn that it is a very culturally mysterious place, which is part of the allure. And there's not a lot of archaeological remains that allow us to understand more about this culture. But what we do know is that it is a cross-cultural, multicultural, complex city based on a trade route, and that because of that, it really kind of adds so much intrigue to Petra, because it's just rich of multiculturalism for such an ancient city. I've continued some more information about what is this place. I've also got kind of a visual map here of some of the ruins. And then I start to get into the specific places that College Board wants you to understand and wants you to have kind of more concise information on. So the treasury being one of them. Then the monastery being another. These two buildings at first glance can look very, very similar, so you will have to definitely take note of the differences between them so that you can recognize the differences. And then we have images of other tombs as well. And then the Great Temple, which is technically just, ruins, but I have included an image down here of a reconstruction of the Great Temple and what it may have looked like in its grandeur. All right, so this is the slide that I really want to point out. I've put two links in here. The one on the left, this is great because it's a video and there's no narration. It's just set to music, but it takes you through a virtual tour of many of the stops that are part of the city of Petra, and some of the stops that are included are definitely parts of the images that we are responsible for knowing about. And then there's some stops that are not part of our images, but are just quite beautiful and interesting to look at as well. But the site that I really want to take you to show you how to navigate so that you can navigate it on your own is this one right here. And this whole image is a link. So if you click on it, it should take you directly to the site. Okay. And so this is where you will start. And you're going to go ahead and click Discover Petra to get into the site.
This is Al-Kazma, or the Treasury.
So when you start, it go ahead and it starts you at the Treasury, all right? But what I want to show you is every spot you go to, you will have maybe a 25-second introduction to the place. I silenced it over here in the volume, but it's just a brief kind of overview of what this stop is, a little bit of historical information, but it only lasts, 25 seconds. And then it pauses so that you can explore this area. And that's really what I wanted to share with you. So over here on the right, this is the entire kind of, ancient trade route that goes through Petra. And all of these dots are the different stops. So right here is where we're at right now, which is the Treasury, okay? Let's go ahead and look at a few other. We have the Streets of Facades. We have the Roman Theater, which is truly amazing. The Urn Tomb, the Palace Tomb, the Colonnaded Street. Let's see, I'm specifically looking for our next stop right here. Let's look at the monastery since that's one of our images. So you click on that dot, it'll take you there, and again, it'll give you just a quick, 20-second overview. But then from there, what's so amazing is you can navigate this. So you have little dots on each stop, which will just give you a fun little tip. Okay, so you can click on it, it'll give you a tip, and then you can X out. You can click on it, it'll give you a little interesting fact, and you can click out. But this is, basically Google Maps. So you can move around and navigate. So if I hold down my left button on my mouse, then I can just start to move around this entire area as if I were there. And whenever you see an arrow at the bottom, if you click on it, it will move you forward. Okay, which is really cool because it does allow you then to go inside some interior spaces, which technically, even if you went there face to face, then you're not allowed inside of a lot of these little niches and rooms and interior spaces. And then what I really love is, being inside of one of these spaces and then looking outward, because that's just such a framed view. I mean, the geography of Petra is just gorgeous as it is. I mean, you're basically within these canyons of this beautiful sandstone, in the middle of the Jordan desert, and it's just breathtaking. So if I click on this arrow to exit, um, and then I can, get a 360 view. I can spin around and, look at the surrounding areas. I can, look upward and downward to kind of get better views and just, spend time kind of virtually walking around. The same with, any other spot that you choose. You'll go there, you'll get a quick little, piece of information. If you click on, if you hover over this, it'll also, kind of give you a quick piece of information. But again, it's filled with facts and then allows you to move around and navigate and look at it from a, 360 perspective. Here you can see we're high up. But I just really hope that you take some time to explore this amazing website.
There are roughly 800
that allows you to experience it as firsthand as possible. Because really, you're not going to be able to grasp the amazingness of Petra, Jordan, kind of without this tour. So I wanted to just kind of give you some tips on that, and hopefully you will enjoy this experience. I've also included in Google Classroom a link to a short 45-minute documentary from the History Channel about Petra, Jordan, which will give you some additional contextual information about the Nabatean people who inhabited this area and what kind of influence it had, being, this caravan route on the great trade route. And, again, it'll just kind of really enhance and reinforce your experience for Petra. So enjoy. Until next time.